Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced, mixed, and edited by M5 Studios.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I'm Jake.
Paul.
And Rob.
And like it or not, gentle ladies and gentlemen, we are your hosts for this evening's episode.
It's fucking quiet right now.
Change it up a little bit. I know.
It's quiet because there's only the three of us tonight. It's been a while since we haven't had a guest.
It is kind of quiet. It's weird.
It's cool.
I don't know.
It's cool, baby.
Wait, which one am I?
A little too quiet.
Turn me up a tad.
Turn you up a tad?
Yeah.
You're on
there we go. There we go.
Yeah,
Trace.
we should have done that
there
before
we go.
the
Perfect.
episode or whatever.
Sexified.
So what's new?
Levels. Pussycat. Whoa, whoa. I don't know. Just fucking. Just the bullshit, man. Just life going on. Just trying to adapt as much as that keeps throwing at us, man. It's just every day. It's just a new Whopper. Not a Burger King
you just
Whopper
kind of go with it, you know what I find interesting? Every time I get depressed when I see the news,
you just jerk off while you're watching the news.
Yeah.
And then
that's how you defeat it.
Condition yourself to get a boner every time bad news comes on.
I know what
that's how you beat it. That's a good defense mechanism.
Hey man, that's how you. Winning is winning.
Winning.
Whether you win by an inch or a mile.
Yeah.
I put on some like 80s movies, you know.
There you go.
So I was watching Karate Kid.
Nice. I've been watching Cobra Kai,
and that's what led me into Cobra Kai, and I like binge watched the first season.
I'm almost done with the first season.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah,
I mean the acting sucks. Like,
yeah,
big time.
I was gonna say that.
It takes me back down memory lane. Nostalgic.
It's got a 93.
I go to the right on the nostalgic lane. And
it's got a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like
it's us all giving it thumbs up because
that's right. Because it
takes us back.
Yeah.
If you hadn't watched Karate Kid in 10 years, if you hadn't watched Karate Kid since you were a kid, and somebody told you to go to Rotten Tomatoes and rate that movie right now, I'd rate it a fucking 9.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if I went and watched it and then rated it, it would probably be a 5 or 6.
That sucks, man. Megan gets mad at me because sometimes it's on like AMC and I'll watch it. I'll watch it and I'm like Megan's like, why don't you just fucking put it on Vudu? Like why are you watching it with commercials? Like, I'm fucking lazy and I want to watch it. I'm already in the zone, and when I'm in the zone, leave me the fuck alone.
It's already. I'm already here.
There.
Like I got it.
I know what to expect. Like what's coming next. You know, they're about to go to Okinawa. You know,
yeah.
Whatever.
Fucking Johnny's walking in his fucking skeleton costume.
Exactly. You know,
Russo's in the fucking shower. Walking around and shit.
But it's good. I mean, the acting sucks tremendously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The first episode starting, I was like, what is this shit, man? Like, really? You can do a little bit better. Like, that's just.
So the first season of Cobra Kai, is Joe Piscopo in it?
What?
Who's Joe Piscopo?
He was in Karate Kid?
Who's
Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, isn't that the guy that plays the fucking bad guy?
No,
the karate
Johnny Lawrence?
Whatever, Zach something, the blonde?
No, the fucking leader of the dojo.
The Cobra Kai.
Oh,
that's Joe Piscopo?
I think that's his name.
No, he's not in there.
I
saw him on
he's dead according to what's his name
according to Johnny.
Yes,
well,
he's
like
dead.
on Netflix, like there's a picture.
I gotta ruin it, man, because if you get to the last episode,
he's not dead.
Whoa!
Oh, hang on. I'm on episode 8. Calm down. I'm not there yet.
What's his name?
My bad.
Reese?
That's Joe Piscopo?
No, it's not.
That's not Joe Piscopo.
No, it's Martin Covey. Sorry.
Yeah.
Looks like Joe Piscopo.
Kinda. Joe Piscopo was an SNL. What's it called? Jacob. He was on SNL in the 80s.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, The Simpsons always make fun of him.
That's interesting. I guess.
Yeah. Earlier episodes, they made fun of him a lot.
He was the bad guy. What am I thinking of? He was a bad guy in something.
He was in this one Michael Keaton film like that was like kind of a parody of like mobster movies. It was pretty funny. I forgot what it's called.
I think he
Michael
was
Keaton, Joe Piscopo.
What was he in? Hang on, I'm gonna have to find this.
I don't want to look it up. I'm too lazy.
Well, but,
he played a bad guy there, but it was a comedy. It's a parody on like a Godfather and shit. It's pretty funny.
So your thoughts on Cobra Kai then, Paul? So
I mean, it's entertaining. I like the soundtrack. It's got
like how they go back in like American History X and do the flashbacks.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's cool. I like it.
They do the movie, but what's interesting about it is I'm pretty sure, it was just the original writers and whatnot. They just wrote the movies and whatnot. They didn't expect to bring it back and do a show. But I like how they're able to do that. They're able to go for the movie and just so many years later pick up where he just that's the thing that kind of cracks me up. He's like, so you're in your 50s and some shit happened to you in high school and you're not over it. Like, get over it, buddy.
No.
That's the way I look at it, kind of.
No, what it is that karate meant so much to Danny LaRusso.
Yeah.
That he's not going to allow.
I don't think there's a lot in front. I think it's just Danny Russo.
Yeah,
it's LaRusso.
Is it LaRusso?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Trust me, I've been watching it this morning.
Yeah, the fucking car dealership.
Yeah, Dick.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But no, I think it meant so much to him and what Miyagi taught him that he didn't want to taint it with whatever the lessons that Cobra Kai was. Bringing.
Well, I was talking about for Johnny's character, he just I don't know. I could. Well, I guess I could see, but at the same time, I was like, man, you're a kid, man. I don't know, get over it. I guess. I don't know.
What?
Get over the fact that you just take a loss, man. You lost. It is what it is.
He's over it. It's just that Danny kept on bringing it in his face, rubbing his face and shit.
Well, no, see, the thing is,
the
reason why I'm saying he hasn't seemed like he's gotten over it. Look at his life. It's shit. Well, it's not going too well for him.
I don't think
whose life? Johnny's.
I don't think that's the reason because of the loss. I mean, it could be right, but I think a lot of it has to do with the abuse that he had when he was a kid and being ignored by
his father.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think
not the guy that played in Roger Rabbit, was it?
No, that guy's hilarious. He was on the Boondocks.
So I figured out
the show.
I figured out where I got Joe Piscopo confused from.
Who, John Creasy?
He was in Joe Piscopo was in Sidekicks.
Fucking Sidekick
with Chuck Norris
and the guy that died.
Yeah, the guy that died.
The guy that died. Yeah, Brandis.
I don't know. He was a heartthrob for all the teenage girls.
I think he died of a heart condition.
No, I think he killed himself, dude.
I wonder if Elizabeth Shue is going to be in the Cobra Kai. I don't know yet.
Well, what if
they keep bringing her up? They keep bringing her up. They're
at the bar. At the bar scene. Are you at the bar scene or no?
Okay, you're right. He did kill himself.
Yeah.
Bar scene. Okay,
never mind.
That's probably towards the end?
It's a little bit, like 2 episodes before.
Okay, I'm almost there. I'm on episode 8.
It's entertaining. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no, it's
a guilty pleasure. Huh? That's what it is.
Nah, I wouldn't say guilty pleasure, but
I'm not gonna go out like, man, Cobra Kai's badass.
Yeah,
No.
Well, I mean, it's watchable.
I am saying it on the podcast.
I mean, it's on record.
I'm going
to make sure I make that a clip and put it on here. Cobra Kai's badass.
I wonder if Silva ever makes an appearance or a cameo. Remember in Karate Kid 3?
Well, Hilary Swank was in the third one.
That's the fourth one.
Oh, it's the fourth one.
That's the fourth one with the guy from Total Recall.
Really?
The bad guy from Total Recall.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, the bad guy.
Dave Caruso?
Colin Farrell?
No, talking about the old. That's another thing.
With the original,
I get home from the podcast last episode, and I'm like, I'm watching Total Recall on TV.
Yeah.
I fucking own it. Like,
there you go again.
It's fucking great. Yeah.
So, obviously, everybody listening, we're just bullshitting through this episode. We've got a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. So we figured we'd just save it for the podcast and not bring a guest on. That way we can kind of build everything up. So I'm going to get this out of the way, but I have a couple of things that I want to make sure that we hit. But one of the bigger, I think that what we want to spend the most time on is kind of talking about Chadwick Boseman and what this means for the future of the MCU moving forward. Now that we've had this huge break, kind of want to talk about their momentum. Do they still have it or not? But a couple of things shifting. We'll do some DC stuff first. So one of the coolest things that's happened in the past couple of weeks is on my phone, I can now have Kevin Conroy narrate my Waze directions to me.
No way.
And I'm driving the animated series Batmobile in the app.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
And how come you didn't text me this shit?
Really?
Wow, that's awesome.
I just found it out today.
That's legit.
Yeah. So anybody with Waze, you have the ability to do. It's either Batman or the Riddler.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
nice.
and it's Kevin Conroy's voice.
Good for him.
Doing the directions. He's like, I was driving to Space Center Houston today, and he's like, take a right on Barker Cypress.
Oh, that's legit. Oh, that's gonna be
See,
goosebumps
I'm curious,
all
like,
day.
how the hell, like, how much,
Because he got a fat check from Waze.
like,
probably.
well, no, not that, but like, how much recording are you doing? Like, how do they manipulate? Like, he's not saying every fucking road,
so what
street.
they say syllabic phrases. So they say
Yeah,
syllables,
they'll
and then they
push them together.
and they emphasize whatever the most common syllables are. Like, and then they record those. And
That's how they do it on on the Alexis or whoever.
Yeah.
Because
there's so much shit.
Because
like,
I mean, they on
that's even,
Aubergine or it's Aubergine on my road, and they're like
that's true. Like,
or I don't even know. They say like Aubergine
certain roads. Like I think
I can't even do it.
Don't even pronounce Westheimer.
Westheimer.
I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Like they don't do Kirkendall correctly. Obviously, because that's probably not the correct way to pronounce it.
That's probably not the correct way to spell it either. I don't know how they fucking got Kirkendall.
I don't know how the fuck
there's no R's in there
name.
at all.
Yeah,
we're all saying it wrong all our lives. It's
fuck that.
For the most part.
Koikendall,
eh?
Speaking of Batman, did y'all see the trailer?
That's what I was going to lead into.
I think so, yeah.
Robert Pattinson the Batman.
What do you mean you think so?
Yeah, it starts off with.
I texted to you guys that night.
I know.
I watched it before you
days.
texted it to me. By the way,
it starts off with some tape, right?
Yeah, so it's
tape.
the Riddler taping the mayor's face up with the duct tape.
What do you think about the Riddler?
I don't know, man.
Robert Pattinson's got COVID.
Yeah, I heard they stopped production temporarily, but it's okay. He's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he'll get out of it.
He's already dead. Inside.
Yeah. So I texted Jake back this, and you were like, "God damn it, it's the Joker trailer all over again." Where I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're kind of like on the fence about it.
And I watched it about 10 more times, and I watched it on I watched it on the big screen. I watched a couple of trailer breakdowns of it, and like,
is it because Gordon's black?
No, I actually really like that actor. No.
Who is that again? I
guy
forgot.
from
recognize him.
Muddy Waters and fucking Cadillac Records.
He was in the Hunger Games.
He's also in Westworld.
Oh, what's called Jeffrey Jeffrey Wright? No, not
Jeffrey White?
No. It's Jeffrey something.
Yeah. He is a great actor.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Fucking Peoples and fucking Shaft.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fucking great. They're fucking taking a shit. Fucking scene.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Yeah,
bring it back. Let's roll it back here.
Fucking.
But no, I personally like the trailer. But then again, I'm a Batman.
Jeffrey
fan.
Wright. That's what I said.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright. Yeah. Good call.
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
And I want to get someone else's perspective because I'm obligated to like it because I'm a Batman fan.
Okay.
So,
but even though no, I take that back. Like.
After you want me to give you my takeaway after watching the trailer 10 or 15 times?
Please.
Here's the things I'm most excited about in this movie. I'm most excited about the Riddler looks interesting.
Right.
Their take on the Riddler looks very interesting. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I'm excited to see where Colin Farrell takes the Oswald Cobblepot role. If they're actually going to go full Penguin with it. Or, like something similar, or like how they're going to play that. Are there really going to be two villains, or is this just a build up into something else?
Some mob boss with a penguin logo on his shirt.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Lazy fucks.
I'm excited to see how Andy Serkis plays Alfred Pennyworth. Ooh. That's going to be interesting because of all the Alfreds that there have been over the years, I like the Michael Keaton Alfred, the one from all the original ones. He's probably my favorite, but my second favorite is Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah. I really like the younger-ish.
Yeah.
Because Alfred is supposed to be badass in combat.
Oh, really?
He's supposed to be able to handle his own.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He teaches and helps train Bruce from a young age before he goes off, if I remember correctly from the
little
comic.
Shit.
I'm also the things that I'm concerned with are how much they're playing Catwoman into the mix already.
Right.
And this is supposed to be not an origin story, but like the beginnings of his career. This is basically like the time frame of in between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Like that's kind of like that. He's already basically made a mark on the city to where the organized crime is falling off. And because like there's this thing it's called an escalation theory. So the cops have billy clubs, so then the criminals get billy clubs, and then so the cops get guns, and then the criminals get guns. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now you have masked vigilante fighting crime. So now the mob is going away, and you have like the rise of these costumed supervillains, which is kind of like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight kind of alludes to that with his like, this city deserves a better class of criminal, and I'm going to give it to him. Of course. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it kind of leads into that. Like Batman, they talk about it in that movie, and so I'm curious to see like where they're going to go with that, especially as young as Robert Pattinson is, which means. I mean, he's not super young. I mean, I don't know how old he is. Late 20s, early 30s?
Yeah, I'd say somewhere in the 30s, probably.
So, I mean, yeah. Yes. So, I mean, like, he's still in the beginnings of his Batman career. This is kind of uncharted territory, like, as far as movies go. Like, if you take out the Joel Schumacher Batmans, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really get this part of, Christian Bale's or Christopher Nolan's Batverse. They kind of gloss over this. You don't see this. It never really happens. You know what I mean? Because you get him fighting the mob, and then the mob's going to go away and to give rise to like the costume super villains. But Batman basically retires, and then The Dark Knight Rises happens.
Right. It was kind of scattered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's not that like you lose the timeline. It just doesn't happen in that universe at all.
It was already established.
Yeah. So like, they just kind of skip over that. Right, you know what I mean? Right. They were like, the Joker was a one-off.
Right.
But in the Batman universe, like as Batman rises to meet the challenges of Gotham City, the criminal underworld answers back by becoming costume supervillains to match him. Right. And that's how most of the series plays out. Mm-hmm. But like the Nolan verse, they hit that with Harvey Dent, Two-Face, and the Joker in The Dark Knight, and then it's over because after that, Batman basically retires for however many years until Bane shows up, and then he's back.
Out of all that, good point. Because out of all that, the only one that really had an origin or like an establishment and role was Harvey Dent.
Yeah,
in the Nolan verse, very good take. So I guess you didn't like it then. The trailer. It's still You're in that.
I'm still in that.
Fuck it.
No, I'm maybe it's.
I could tell.
No, maybe it's because we've gotten so many bad Batman movies that I'm like, man, I really, really want this one to be really good. Yeah. And I will say this: I didn't see anything in that trailer from Robert Pattinson that made me not believe he could play Batman.
Right. Yeah. I can see that for sure.
That was another pro that I took off of that.
Like he's wearing the fucking eyeshadow, and he's wearing it without the helmet, or without the cowl. So it's like that's kind of cool because for some odd reason, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember at the end of Batman Returns where Catwoman, or he rips off the fucking mask, and like for some odd reason, the eyeshadow on Michael Keaton's
disappears.
Disappears.
Oh, well, see, I never really noticed that. It's
subtle.
It's subtle, but it's there. Another one.
Have the eyeshadow.
Christian Bale does that too.
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Otherwise, you'll see white skin all around it.
Okay, I get you. He's got to doll up a little bit, huh?
You miss it. You miss it.
I never noticed that. You're right. It's so fucking subtle. It's like,
in Batman the animated series, it's just
it's a white.
It's all white.
Yeah,
sexified, baby. That's all you need.
But I mean, the Riddler, I'm curious on where they're going to go with that character.
I just hope they. The biggest problem is that there's so much potential bleed over between the Joker and the Riddler. You know what I mean? That you don't like if you can skate that line. But if you take the Riddler too far, he just becomes a plagiarized Joker.
I know what you mean, and that is kind of something that's out there. Like, okay, you can't have two of the same villains.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I am okay with getting rid of the fucking gold cane and the tight green spandex of the Riddler.
Like a question marks.
Yeah, I'm totally okay him being a crazy guy that wants, or a girl that wants to throw out. Riddles and stuff like that.
Guy. Let's just keep it the guy.
It is what I don't care. That does not bother me. It is what it is.
Me.
I want a good character.
I do too. I want a good character. And Jim Carrey played a great Riddler. It was very on par. Because it was a comedic
element in the whole Schumacher.
Right. But you know what? The Riddler was always that kind of character.
That's true.
And you know what I mean? That's one of the things, like even in the animated series and in the comic books, the Riddler was always more flamboyant and was always with the crazy question mark get-ups and things like that. It was never subtle. You know what I mean? Like the Joker had a lot of different iterations that were semi-subtle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that like that's going to be where the tough part is to portray the Riddler. Is like I said, keeping him mutually exclusive from the Joker.
So with this movie, it's outside of the DC universe.
Is it?
It's what I was what I read. The DC universe is with the Affleck Batman,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so with this being that part of it and Joker being outside of it as well, is it a possibility
that they could be linked?
Fused up later on in the future? I mean, it's already a twisted, setting as it is with the Riddler and the taping effect and everything. And then no telling what Penguin brings into this, story. I don't know. That's something good, and if that is the case, I think that's what the fans want. Yeah. I don't think DC or WB will ever deliver because they always like to let us down. But I mean, I don't know.
This is not a Warner Brothers.
I think
it's got to be.
It has to be. I think it is. I mean,
so my whole thing is like. My whole thing is like I think that DC should just give up on this DC EU. You know what I mean? I know that we've got Wonder Woman 84 coming out.
Well, then but then you also have the Flashpoint movie or Flash movie, and the whole Justice League, revamp with on now what's it called, Warner Max?
Because they're doing a new Justice League.
It was the Snyder cut.
Is that
on HBO Max? Yeah,
HBO Max.
Well,
but now I don't know if you've seen the title.
It's going to be for
Warner Max.
Is it?
It's like I guess there's a fusion between these two companies.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just think that there's been so many missteps. Is it even worth saving at this point?
Dude, apparently, there's only maybe 10, 15% of the original movie that's going to be in it. So this is a whole new fucking movie.
Yeah.
So why not do it?
It's they're doing it in 4 1-hour episodes.
Man, I'm so excited about this.
I am too. And that's the thing is like, I don't know where... I think that the whole deal is that DC wanted a Marvel universe, and that DC is not Marvel, and that's not saying it badly. They're different. Right. DC has always been darker. You know what I mean? They've always been more. They've always dealt with more serious themes. They've always had the more graphic, violent content and things like that. Right, you would never see in a Marvel comic a villain capture the entire, a table full of superheroes and cut their faces off. You know what I mean? Like the Joker did to the Bat family. You know what I mean? Like that shit does not happen in Marvel comics. So, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. And
apparently in that story arc, they were just drugged up. So there was drugs induced on that too.
Yeah.
They were just drugged up and hallucinating and pulling paws. See so.
Pulling paws. Fuck you. Nice. What is going, what's going to be what's the actual title for this Batman film? What do they call it?
Batman.
It's just The Batman?
The Batman. The Batman.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Which is cool because, there's pieces of dialogue in the past where they don't just say Batman, they say it's the Batman, and I don't know if that's the proper way of titling Batman as the Batman. But I mean, I kind of like that.
Well, I always liked the Scarecrow in Nolan's in the first one. He's like, I forgot like how, I don't know how.
Oh, where he's
it's
like
it's the Bat. No, he's like it's. I thought he just said it's the Bat or something like you know what I'm talking about. He said the way
he goes it's the Batman.
Yeah, the way he says like it's just he's so psychotic. Like it's just I don't know. It's just so simple.
Even in the Tim Burton first movie, there's those two thugs that they're on the rooftop, and they're like, what do we think about the Batman? He's like, there ain't no bat. There ain't no. Then you see my wife coming down in the back.
There ain't no bat.
There ain't no bat.
Get out of here. You fucking Teamsters Union and shit.
We need to get those types of thugs and villains.
And they get them back. Yeah, it's fucking ultra cheesy, like fucking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole point. Is like Batman has always. I think that's where DC struggles bringing Batman to the movies is because they're trying to follow Marvel and bring them into modern times. And Batman works really well as a noir villain, as a noir superhero. Always has. Always worked really well in the from the 50s to the 80s.
But it's working well with Justice League, and it's not a noir style. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of, but I mean, the Batman versus Superman was pretty good. I liked it.
Was it?
It was. I liked it.
I did not like Batman.
No, that's cool. I was, whatever. That's totally fine, and I can get why. There's a part of me that didn't like it, but there's a huge part of me that liked it. So I totally get it.
The big parts of me that didn't like it are the way that they brought Doomsday into it, and like they totally missed.
Fucking Wonder Woman.
They did a total misstep and did a total disservice. They lost an entire. They lost so much ground.
They rushed it.
Like by bringing Doomsday in. I was like,
thrown in there.
Yeah, well, because
that's such a huge.
There was also the death of Superman. There was so much going on in that movie. I mean, I think they needed to pump the brakes. For one, they should have let these standalone Wonder Woman and Aquaman come out first before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And they could have done so much more.
They didn't need to do the Batman versus Superman with Doomsday, because the Doomsday storyline, like that whole arc of the death and return of Superman, like in trade paperback form, that took like a year, I maybe more. But like, I mean, they could have done. That didn't have to be a Justice League movie or anything. They could have done another Superman movie and built him up a little. For sure. Built him up some more. They could have introduced, Batman and Wonder Woman and, mentioned them, they could have taken their time, and they could have done, the third Superman movie could have been Superman Doomsday. And that could have been the Death of Superman movie, where they could do a proper origin story of like how Doomsday was created and, strapped to an asteroid and sent off on a course into space that wouldn't collide with anything. Right. And then gets hit by an asteroid and knocked back to Earth, or gets knocked off course and lands on Earth. Mm-hmm. And then, you get the big fight between him and Superman. Both of them knocked unconscious at the end, and then Superman's dead. That's the wrap of the movie. And then you do a Superman Returns, part 1 and 2, where you introduce.
Not a Batman Returns part 1 and 2, because there is a Batman Returns part 1 and 2.
Yeah. But no, a Superman Returns 1 and 2, where you do the first Superman, and you do it Superman Returns 1 and 2, not Man of Steel Returns 1 and 2. Yeah. And that's when you bring in the cyborg Superman and John Henry Irons Superman. Lex Luthor had cloned Superman and made Superboy. And then you bring in the Eradicator, the four fake Supermen. And then, because that whole thing, you could lead into introducing Darkseid in that, and the return of Superman, and you explain a lot of things, and that's a big, lead up.
So I think I totally get where you're going at.
You know what I mean? You could have followed that whole comic arc and made 4 really great movies out of it.
But see, I think what it is that they want to cater too much to the audience, and I think that's just Hollywood in general. The reason I say that is because you got, Nolan's Batman verse that brings in, JGL, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he goes to he calls himself, why don't you use your real name, Robin? And that's stupid, because people know who Robin is. And that's why they wanted to bring that. So I think like whenever you throw all those curveballs and everything, and what you just said with the creation of Superboy and all that, it doesn't cater to the general public,
mass audience.
That there's Superman, and there's Batman. You know what? They should fight, and that's what they did.
Well, but they did. But there's a whole nother comic arc where they do fight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you could bring that. You could do a whole movie building up to that.
Right.
Instead of the way that they did it, and you could actually introduce more characters with that. Because in the Batman versus Superman fight, when Batman wins, it's Oliver. What's the Oliver Green, the Green Arrow, whatever his name is. I forget.
Yeah.
Is the one who helps Batman pull that off.
Yeah.
With one arm, by the way.
That's another thing. Where the fuck is Green Arrow and all this shit?
Exactly. Like, there's all these great shows on the WB, and Marvel did that too. They had a bunch of shows that weren't crossovered into the movies, but I think that's where DC took a big misstep. Is they took a cue from Marvel and didn't incorporate the movies directly with the TV shows. But that is something that you could definitely do. You could do a movie without having any kind of backstory into the TV show, but it would make people want to go back and watch the TV show if they were directly incorporated.
The Joker was their redemption song. They really hit the reset button with Joker, kind of.
But I don't think that they hit the reset button. They did take a really big jump forward with that, and like they regained a lot of points. But I mean, they still
and then they bring in What's fucked up was this whole Justice League movie, and that's and when that came about, it's like, okay, you take a stop from production and wait till Zack Snyder gets his shit together, because history shows that he's fucking great. Well, why would you jeopardize that?
Because that's not but that's the whole thing. Is, as far as I know, the story goes that he took a break to deal with his daughter, but they made him stop. They told him like I think it all happened at once. They were like, okay, you're taking a break. We want to see a cut of the movie to see where you're at. They saw it and panicked, and then hired Joss Whedon.
Since when did whoever's calling the shots at Warner Brothers serve them right? Like, I mean, they fucking got the whole bat nipples, and that can go to a whole new ball game. And
that's what I'm saying. Like,
but it's just like. Let's think out of the box. If you know that you're failing because of your own, judgment calls, then maybe you need to get out of the chair, get someone else in, but maybe not make your judgments.
Maybe we don't know that was the same people making those calls.
You're right.
And maybe they thought that they were making the right call. Well, you know what I mean? Joss Whedon did do the first Avengers movie. And it's
a different environment. Absolutely.
Total
he would have killed. Obviously, he killed an Avengers.
Well, it's a different perspective. A director, you bring in a new director, that's a different point of view he's going to bring.
But that's the whole thing. It's like Joss Whedon's whole arc is kind of campy. It's kind of campy, lighthearted action, but. Justice League was not. Zack Snyder did not shoot Justice League that way. Man of Steel was not shot that way. I mean, Batman versus Superman was not shot that way. Wonder Woman wasn't shot that way. So why bring in Joss Whedon?
Yeah, that's a good point with Joss Whedon, because it's like the argument that I'm saying is like, okay, he's great for Avengers and maybe not great for DC or Batman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I could have said the same thing for Todd Phillips with the Joker, like with him doing the whole Hangover, segment of movies. Like, he's a comedic fucking director. Yeah, he doesn't need to be doing the Joker.
True. Well, that's pretty much, it's funny. I guess ironic because the same thing they said about Heath Ledger approaching or taking the role of Joker. Nobody believed he can do it.
They said the same thing about Michael Keaton taking Batman.
That's true. I mean,
But looking at it, makes sense, because if you look at Todd Phillips' body of work, what made the Hangover movies great it was his ability to craft a story that kept you wondering what was happening next and make it believable to real life. That's what the Joker needed.
You take that the
real element.
Yeah, you take that foundation when you're saying, Rob, and then you apply it to the direction that it needed for the Joker. You have that, but see, I could see where easily, like you, Jacob, you said it best. Why his body work and just dismissing, just on a surface level, just on a face value, just looking at it for the way it is. But if you look at it on a deeper level, like what he's saying, that makes sense. Him bringing that to what he can do. It's just, I understand. It's just, but I wanted to back it up a bit because you were talking about they saw Snyder's like cut or whatever, and they got scared. They got Josh. But the thing is, that kind of that pisses me off. Is like the movie's not done. And you're losing faith in the guy, and like, and you just fucking cut him out, like fuck you, and like, and get this other guy come in. That's kind of insulting. Well, I mean, kind of that is insulting.
Time is money, though.
Yeah,
they're probably looking at now.
But
I get,
like,
but they basically
that, though,
they paid $400 million for a $200 million movie.
Did they shoot themselves in the foot for doing that?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, like
now I think Cyborg is supposed to be the main character.
Right. I mean, just they weren't taking faith in his vision and what he can do, and they just stopped believing him, and that's insulting. Like, it's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Hollywood doesn't care about feelings, though, man.
No, they don't give a fuck about that. It's all about money.
But you said it. You just said it right now. It's about the money. But sidetrack a little bit, just a tad. I think just because of what everything's going in general, the rise of independent filmmakers are going to take over. I think it's going to be weird because of Hollywood. Everybody's evacuating and just leaving Hollywood in general. In L.A., nobody wants to fucking be there. A lot of actors and actresses realize, like, I don't need to live there to to find work. So it's gonna be interesting to see how filmmaking, how filmmaking and the entertainment industry and everything in general, when it comes to that, like, where it's gonna go. Like, it's interesting. Like, I think now's the time if we want to do stuff like on our own. It's it's easily accessible. Anybody can become a fucking filmmaker. Yeah. Now, especially not a great one, maybe, YouTube, but like. It's that goes for a lot of things in general, like musicians and just but sticking with filmmaking. I think Post Malone posted a song online and it just fucking caught like wildfire. Yeah, and then look where he's at now. I don't think he seems like a cool guy, but I don't like his music. I don't think it's that good. It doesn't speak to me. But it's just me. You is just you. That's just me. Obviously, you're wrong, sir, compared to where he's at. And I'm just kidding. But it's interesting to see why they would how things are. We're sidetracking, but besides that though, and it's going to be interesting to see where filmmakers. Like I said, I really do think it's going to be the rise of independent filmmakers. Like, really, anybody like us. If we have an opportunity, if you know what you're doing and have a good product and have a good idea and everything, you can really take off. And I think storytelling is going to be. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that's happened with the movie industry or with the music industry. You know what I mean? Like, independent, you're gonna get like. Producers like and all that, those producers, those assholes that don't know jack shit about music or film, they're just throwing money in like, I have an idea. No, those fuckers, man, that shit's gonna go. Rick Rubin knows a thing or two. Yeah, I know. No, well, you got people that are not passionate about, like where it comes to music or film. I'm talking about those kind of people. Those days are over for them. If you ask me, who's that teenage girl, star sensation? Billie Eilish. Doesn't her brother write the songs? Yeah. No. She wrote the songs. No. Her brother writes most of the songs. I looked this up.
Well, I read an article that said that she and her brother wrote most of her first album. Okay. They're living in the same house, and like they were writing together. They are both listed as the writing credits, from my understanding.
I don't know. I remember reading one article saying that her brother wrote most of the stuff.
Produced all of her albums. Okay. All
right. Well, either way, like, it just it gives me hope, I guess. Because I don't know, not trashing her, like, but it's just she's just whispering most of the time. I get it. It speaks. You said your daughter's a fan of her music, and kind of.
I try to steer her away from garbage like that.
That's good. You should.
Again, that's subjective.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and that sucks about music and film. Not everybody's gonna like what you like.
I get that. But I think for the longest time. Especially music in general, but filmmaking go the same way. I think a lot of it is based on like it lacks a lot of substance, and I think finally we're going to be able to see, songwriters and filmmakers are going to have actual substance, tell good stories or write good songs filled with actual substance, because you don't have to worry about. This is the time to take the experiment. To actually do what you want to do. You don't have to worry about some fucking asshole telling you, no, the label doesn't want you to do that. You need to be doing this. Those days are fucking gone, my friend. Right. They are done, and I'm glad for that. But at the same time, like, you got like like, you know, Doug, we were talking like a couple of weeks ago, a friend of ours, Rob's buddy, he, you know, made a good point about, like, you know, just music in general. A lot of it, unfortunately, a lot of people can, you know, you can do, you could put stuff out easily. You don't need a record label. You don't need that bullshit, whatever. But the problem is a lot of people are lazy about it and they don't put the effort.
Well, you're going to have to put in more work. You sign with a label. They're going to show you so much money. They're going to put you on so many festivals and set your own shows up.
Right.
Right.
Well, but what they'll also do is they know what the end product should be, and they're going to put the people in there to make sure that they're the ones that are going to hire, you know, the high end producers, the Matt Schaefers, and the, you know, they're going to hire Chris Lord-Alge, and they're going to, you know, all these people to come in and you know, make sure that you're doing the money because they have the money.
Yeah.
So doing it on your own, you have to be objective, and you have to find, number one, if you're going to do an independent music release, you have to find somebody who's going to help you record it that's objective, and you're going to have to be able to accept criticism of how things are built and be able to take criticism about your music.
Yes and no.
You
like
see how
there
Rob
are
kind
some
of fit his way in.
No. But I 100% agree on you.
I wasn't
Rob,
going there, but like
I know. And talk to other, like a lot of other musicians that are on their own that just do everything solely. They produce and write and record, mix and match. They do everything. Like nobody else is involved. So, but I still see your point though. But I would rather
like synthwave artists, like the mid.
A lot of synthwave artists in the scene. They do everything 100%. But going back it up what you said though, Rob, I do agree. I want that objective point of view, and I want that constructive criticism. Like, tell me what I'm not hearing. If I'm hearing, I need to hear if there's something that I'm doing wrong, or hey, this could be better, or you know, whatever. If it needs improvement, like I need that. I need that other ear to tell me that.
A lot of artists need that. A lot of artists need that as they're writing and you know, trying to produce their own music and stuff like that. There's very few artists that can sit down in a studio, write and record an entire album with nobody telling them anything about how it should be done, and it come out and be awesome.
Yeah,
Trent Reznor is one of those people.
I know
Trent Reznor can sit down and write and write a Nine Inch Nails album.
He won a Grammy for or an Oscar for the Social Network.
I know
exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not Trent Reznor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. Like I told my brother, like you have to have somebody that can listen to it, and you have to be open to criticism and open to new ideas that maybe you didn't think of initially and things like that. And that's how now the idea may work, the idea may not work. And that all goes to like who you're working with producing it, being humble enough to say, hey, like, let's try this. And if it doesn't work, like them being able to say, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Or, you know what I mean? Like, and that's important to be able to recognize.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've talked to other musicians and just and they've actually had pretty successful albums that they did solely on their own, which is pretty amazing. Not all of them. But I know exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's good reception. It's not huge. It all, like, how do you define that exactly? Like, are these people Trent Reznors? No, they're not.
I think
the product. Sorry, I mean, just let me finish this real quick. The product, if you ask me in general, like, is very impressive for them doing everything on their own. But that, you know, everything's subjective. That's just my point of view, in my opinion. But it's just drawing a line, like Rob says, like, what do you consider an accomplishment or a success and all that stuff? And it just, I don't know. It all depends. Like, even if it's minimal, like, to me, that's, I don't know. It just seems like, if you think you know what you're doing, you're confident enough to where you think you don't know you don't need, you know, to have an outside perspective, then, I mean, I can't imagine that kind of confidence. I don't have that. Well, I would rather have like Rob or you, to hear what I have.
I think it's like you
don't want my opinion.
No, I think
have you listened to any of my stuff yet? Shit.
Not yet.
Because the problem with artists,
that's cool. Don't worry about it.
In general,
don't
is that they're emotionally attached to their craft.
Oh yeah,
and you cannot be emotionally attached to your riffs or to your acting skill. You got to take the constructive criticism and be willing to change up and get out of the comfort zone.
Right. Depending what you're going for and the end product of what you're shooting for, it should all be geared towards that and like sacrifice. Like I really love this riff or this idea, but it's not going so well. I shouldn't do it and just maybe save it for something else and just just improve it just for that a better product.
But even the perspective of that, just like discarding that riff and just saving it for something else. No, I think that the key is to branch off that riff or maybe be open to like riffing off that riff. You know what I mean? Or like branching off your acting skill and riffing off. Man, you see how powerful Batman is? It brought us to this conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
Would Spider-Man do that, sir?
Yeah.
Well, that's because Spider-Man's already had really great movies. I feel like Batman really hasn't yet.
I was thinking about Spider-Man earlier. Like now get out of here. But the ad said 3,000. But yeah, you pinned him in 2. It said 3 minutes. I missed the part where that's my problem.
That'll be Spider-Man 1, sir.
He took my money. Why didn't you do anything? I missed the part where it was my problem.
That's what he gets. That's the reason why Uncle Ben gets killed, right?
But that
in that movie,
yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like Spider-Man.
Nice.
Spider-Man is always. I mean, he's had. Honestly, you want to be honest about it? He's had 3 really great franchise movies already. I mean.
3 franchises?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire,
Andy
I
Garfield.
like the Andrew Garfield.
I like it too.
It's okay.
It's not too, but
terrible,
it's not because it's a little darker.
It is a little
and
darker.
I like it.
Oh, okay.
It is a little darker, yeah, for sure.
Well, it
had its missteps.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't really a super fan of the second one. You know, the one with Jamie Foxx in it.
With
playing Electro. Yeah. But I think Andrew Garfield did a good job. It has its merits.
For sure.
I think that Tobey Maguire obviously set the bar really high. I liked Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
Oh, baby.
Well, you like Emma Stone. I mean, who doesn't like Emma Stone in general?
Yeah.
I mean,
some people.
And
don't.
I mean, like Spider-Man, the Kirsten Dunst in the
baby.
alley in the rain and the soaking wet.
Didn't Dallas Bryce Howard play Gwen Stacy?
Yeah.
In that movie,
in the third one.
Yeah,
the third one.
You like that one?
I did not like that one because Sam Raimi had a lot of stuff forced on him.
She didn't look like her uncle, fucking
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard.
No. It wasn't. No. Hold on. You didn't listen to what I said because you were trying. You were sitting there waiting to fuck with me.
He was mesmerizing off her ass. That's what
I know. Go on.
Just picturing her ass.
My objection to that movie was not Bryce Dallas Howard. My objection to that movie was the movie itself.
Okay.
Oh, Sandman. Sandman did it for you.
No.
You didn't like that.
No, I didn't like the fact that they forced Venom into that movie.
I just made bad choices or some shit. Fuck you, fucking
Sam Raimi
Go drink wine.
Didn't even want Venom in that movie.
Oh, no?
Really? No, he just wanted to set up.
Carnage, goddammit.
He wanted to set up for... what do you call it? He wanted to set up for another movie with Venom. Like he wanted to set Eddie Brock up to be. He wanted Topher Grace to play and build up so that you could have another movie. But the studio was like, we don't know that you have enough steam with this Spider-Man franchise to make another movie. And then it just felt too rushed, and then it didn't make any money, so he didn't get a 4th movie. Then they rebooted with Andrew Garfield.
Interesting.
So,
interesting.
Well, all the franchises have their merits. I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, but like we didn't.
Yeah, I like that kid, man. He's pretty good.
I think that like this kind of leads us into one of the things that happened just a few days ago was we lost Chadwick Boseman, and he died young.
I was joking.
The royal we.
Royal we.
We as in the world. I mean, if you think about
the world, man, world impact.
I mean, it made a huge.
I'm not a huge fan,
impact.
but like it's.
How can you not be a huge fan though? When you look at
him
hey,
himself,
it's subjective. Come on,
that's
buddy.
fine,
Everything
that's subjective.
is.
But look,
outside of the MCU,
let me break it down for you. I'm just going to break down
when
a little
David
bit.
Lynch passes, I'm gonna be hurt.
So
some people are not. I get it.
Whatever.
It's the same thing.
think about it like this.
Whatever.
Chadwick was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016.
16, that's what I thought, yeah.
So he made...
How did he pass? Yeah.
Of stage 4 colon cancer.
Oh, okay. Geez.
And he got that shit under wraps.
He didn't tell anybody. Now, I'm pretty sure that Kevin Feige knew because I've read Kevin Feige's statements and a couple of interviews with him, and I'm pretty sure that Kevin Feige knew, which is why they pushed Black Panther 2 off so far. Because he knew that Chadwick was fighting that and didn't know like if he was going to... I don't think he was expecting him to die, but he was not expecting him to be healthy enough to shoot Black Panther 2.
He's giving him time.
Which is why they pushed it back so
he could regain his strength and health. And
So...
Wow.
Think about the body of work that Chadwick Boseman has put out.
Yeah.
He played Jackie Robinson. He played
42.
In 42. He played James Brown in Get On Up. He played Black Panther in 3 MCU movies. Is that right? 3 MCU? Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Yeah.
And then his
main actor, right? The Black Panther, right?
And then, yeah.
Okay, I just don't know. I don't follow too much.
So, and then he played, he did 21 Bridges, and then Defy Blood. I mean, that's a huge...
Thurgood Marshall.
And Thurgood Marshall and Marshall.
The lawyer?
The lawyer.
Yeah, that was a good fucking movie.
With
that was a great movie.
He did all of that in 4 years.
Yeah.
A little over 4 years. That is an impressive body of fucking work.
He had a future in front of him, man. He was like, like in his 30s, I think?
41, I think.
41?
Well, I guess, I mean, like, honestly, like, the guy that... I know it sucked that he passed, but the guy lived a fulfilling life. Sounds like, you know,
but he put all that in. Do you think that he rushed and put all that in because he knew?
Oh, possibly, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because I didn't know he was battling it that long. 4 years.
But see, nobody knew that he even had it until he died.
Can you rush it? Because you got to have those opportunities.
Well, I think he might have just. You know what I mean? I think he might have just accepted as much as he could to whatever he thought was probably.
Well, right.
You've got to go on the auditions.
No. I think he just kept on going and going.
Sometimes people just choose as well. You don't have to audition.
We really lost a good one here because this guy was a phenomenal actor.
Yeah,
and you don't just because you're Leo DiCaprio. Sure, you're gonna get roles because you're Leo DiCaprio. But back in the day, he had to earn those roles.
Right.
And right now,
Chadwick had to earn all of these.
He's still earning these roles, and the fact that he earned Thurgood Marshall, Black Panther.
I think he probably knew that I might not have enough time.
Right.
I want to go audition other works.
I'm sure
that he probably saw
you gotta
fit.
win those auditions.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying though. Still, like you don't know if you're going to get it till you do it. Essentially, like for anything, but he just took the chance. Like, I'm going to just do it. Just to do it,
I got you.
You know, just have a legacy, in which he will leave. That's a good. I mean, all the shit he's done is very impressive.
It is. I mean, he has played
Thurgood. I forgot about that.
I mean, I'm not black, but
kinda are.
You know, but I mean,
yeah, I'm like 5 years in. You kind of look.
This guy went and played at least 4 super iconic, black heroes.
Yes.
I mean,
characters,
and not characters, heroes.
Yeah.
When you talk about
heroes,
Thurgood Marshall is a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a real life hero.
Like he was the first black
Supreme Court justice
judge. Yeah, I mean,
he fought
Jackie Robinson,
James Brown,
notable.
I mean, and then Black
people
Panther
that made history.
People, you can criticize and subjugate Black Panther all you want, but the fact is that he was one of the first. If not, I'm not sure if he was the first. Maybe Luke Cage was before him, but he was the first black superhero. You know what I mean? And he was like the Bruce Wayne of comic characters. He was rich, powerful, but he had powers, and I mean, like he kicked everybody's ass. And Black Panther is ingrained in almost every single iconic storyline that Marvel ever created.
To his level, is Spawn a superhero?
But with Spawn black after he got burnt to a crisp and came back from hell.
Wasn't the character a black guy
in the movie?
Okay, I don't
know about the comic. I never read the comic. So
semi-top.
Sorry, I was just looking up the movie Thurgood Marshall, and I saw Jesse Smollett's in there.
Oh, is he? Oh, Jesse Smollett.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I mean, Oliver Pratt's in there too. I think.
Josh Gad.
Same shit.
Yeah, the younger Oliver Pratt. Yeah, Platt. Yeah, I'm sorry. Lake Placid. Yeah.
Swimming with the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Anyway,
fucking
so I
drunk.
mean, it's one of those.
God damn.
You have like it's a big blow. It's a big blow to people that love the Marvel Cinematic Universe and love comic books and love comic book movie characters, because that was a great casting call that they had for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, we said 3. It's 4 Marvel movies: Civil War, Black Panther, Infinity War, and Endgame. 4.
Yeah, right.
So. I mean,
and Civil War was when he was first introduced.
Yeah, the first one. So I mean, like you're thinking about like how this is going to continue. One of the things that I wanted to bring up now that we're getting kind of through this lockdown and Marvel and Disney are kind of coming off of they're opening back up production. They've already opened back up production on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They start shooting. Allegedly, they start shooting Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness starts shooting in November, I think.
Okay.
You don't have to clean all that shit up right now. Like, you can wait till the end of the episode. Okay. All right. Thanks, Mr. Belvedere.
Oh, damn. That's Mr. Belvedere. Jesus, I forgot about that show.
Anyway, but I mean, like, where does the Marvel Cinematic Universe go? Now, we've taken a break, obviously. Like, they've had to take a big break. Black Widow was supposed to come out in May, I think, or earlier than that, possibly. I don't remember when it was supposed to come out, but it does have a solid theater release date now, I think of November 16th or November 6th.
And it should.
And so, but where does that leave the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Do you think that they've lost their steam? What do they do with Black Panther?
Well, do you think that they knew that this was probably going to happen? So that's why they just halt the productions, pump the brakes, and let's rethink about this.
I think that Kevin Feige knew. Yeah. I think that Kevin Feige has known that it was a possibility for a long time and had contingency plans in place. Now, what they could do is they could follow the comic book storyline when T'Challa dies and Shuri, his younger sister, takes over as the Black Panther.
Ah, okay.
They could do that.
I don't know anything about that.
Which would be cool if they actually follow the comic book storyline. I would be super down for that. A strong, empowered black female superhero. Oh. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I see that, Paul. I know
that. Sorry. I know that's totally like foreign to you, Paul, but
not foreign. It's just I just look at people as people.
Wake up! It's 2020, Paul.
Whether you look
what
at,
I just
you look
do.
That's fine. But there are a ton of little girls out there that always are looking for somebody to identify with.
I get it. So, but Cardi B was, her music video about wet ass
pussy. Cardi B. We're not talking about. She's not a superhero.
No. But I was, I was asking somebody, like, she was saying, like, oh, this video, like, she represents female empowerment. It's like, could you explain to me? Because I don't know. I'm just not being a dick. I just want to know.
It's because she robbed. She used to rob fucking drug dealers or people that want to pay for sex. They go in the hotel room and she'll be part of.
According to this person, like the way she says, like she's like, she's this song's about like just doing what what women want to do, and what asking men's permission, what men have been doing about songwriting all this whole time, describing their sexual, like, I don't know, just how they. I was like, oh, okay. I laughed at that later. I was like, okay, female empowerment. All right, I get it. I guess I'm sidetracking big time.
If men are going to be that dumb, fuck it, right? Men are dumb.
Oh, well, some were women. People are fucking dumb in general, man. Like, it's not biased towards fucking gender. Trust me, I've met plenty of dumb fucking people, and they're both on both fucking genders. Yeah. But I'm sorry. I'm sidetracking big time. Go on, Rob.
So
I get it. Looking for a role model, essentially, is what it is.
I mean, I'm glad that was such a
but that's what it is, though. But no, I know. But essentially, it's a role model, is what you're saying.
Well,
that, they want to look for.
Think about it. When you're younger. When you're a kid, you're looking for somebody to identify with, always. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure that you looked at like Zorro and were like, "Oh man, I could be fucking Zorro," you know, with your long black hair.
Not really. I never thought about that.
Hey, I
but
see him as
like
more of a Lord Zed type of person.
Nah, bitch, I'm more of a fucking Dick Tracy.
Oh, Dick Tracy.
God damn it. Warren Beatty,
Warren
motherfucker.
Beatty, there you go. Yeah, that's
I like to bang young women at 50 years old named Madonna. Son of a
You know who's
bitch.
also in
fuck.
Dick Tracy?
Dustin Hoffman is
No, but
fucking Mumbles.
Can't hardly wait. Fucking the nerd from Can't Hardly Wait.
He's in there? Wait,
Yeah.
the nerd?
He's a kid. He's also on Hook.
Are you talking about Willie? Are you talking about the kid?
William and
The kid. His name's the kid.
Is his name the kid?
He adopts, right? The redhead. What are we gonna eat? What are we gonna eat?
Yeah, what are we gonna eat?
What are we gonna eat? Little fucking fat bastard.
Big boy did it. Big boy did it. Anyway,
Anyway,
to answer your question, I think that Kevin Feige has had a contingency plan, had to have. And I got into an argument online with some people the other day about whether or not that's...
You do that shit back in 2008, and you don't do that shit in 2020.
This motherfucker goes on shit posting sites all the time.
I get
one small...
Chat rooms? You go to chat rooms still?
I got in an argument...
ASL?
No, this was on Instagram.
What? Talk about what?
I got in an argument with somebody about like if Kevin Feige knew about Chadwick Boseman's illness. And I said... You know, you remember when Kyle and Steven were on and we were talking about like Kevin Feige, nothing is on accident. Everything is on purpose in the MCU. Like he's planned everything out.
Okay.
And I said, that's why I told him, I said, you're crazy if you think that like there wasn't some contract contingency that if you got, you know, so sick, like you had to disclose that to Disney or Marvel. Oh, you know what I mean?
It had to be.
And from the beginning, Chadwick, by the time they were filming Civil War, Chadwick knew that he was sick.
Yeah, but what if Chadwick was like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna die anyways. I want the money."
But that doesn't matter. Like I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's morbid. That's fucked up.
At that point, he was so strong. It was like, well, you know, like he did it, and he did a great job. You know what I mean? So like, what's the argument? You know what I mean? Like I don't see the argument there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I see like Kevin Feige knowing. I feel like he would have said, "Hey, look, if I don't say anything about this and something does happen and I can't continue, they're not gonna want. Like it'll be really hard to recast me. Like you know what I mean? Like why don't I just come forward and say something now? That way they could write a storyline.
When was Civil War made or shot?
I think it was shot in 2015.
Okay, so this is probably after the fact or before the fact that he ever
probably, yeah.
Okay, so
but by the time Black Panther was greenlit,
yeah,
he knew.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that Kevin Feige is a smart man. What he did to the MCU is phenomenal. Okay, so
it'll never happen again.
Yeah, right. But I think that he did know. I mean, there's a reason why Black Panther 2 is pushed back. I don't know, but it's just. If he was
it also goes back to that like in Infinity War, like they dusted Black Panther.
They did.
And people were like, what the fuck? Like you just had a fucking movie. Well now like it makes sense. Like if something would have happened to Chadwick Boseman where he couldn't have come back to shoot Endgame, they could have left him dead.
Or what if they go back and do another timeline thing? And there's another movie.
Not gonna happen.
It's like he actually is dead.
It's not gonna happen.
You're gonna write him off that way.
I don't know how they're gonna do it because I mean, how do you just address a main character dying and just not address it?
Well, there goes the MCU. That's it.
I mean, you do. I guess you do like they did with Princess Leia and fucking
CGI him the whole movie.
You CGI him like at the beginning and he dies like in the very beginning
in space. Bye.
yeah, in space. Black Panther in space.
I don't know, man.
Park this little Mac.
You know, it's just
garage.
It's morbid, but it fascinates me on what direction they're going to take.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I used to watch this show called Spartacus, and
I am Spartacus.
Yeah, right.
Didn't the guy die?
Andy Whitfield.
And that's the guy. He looks like Sam Worthington, doesn't he?
He does. Actually, I can see that.
I thought it was Sam Worthington.
Avatar, right?
I thought that Sam Worthington was the guy that died.
Terminator. Yeah, it's not him. No. So Andy Whitfield, he did 2 seasons.
I used to watch this show Spartacus for all the pussy that was in it all the time.
Solely on the pussy.
So what happened was that this guy Andy Whitfield, he shot 2 seasons of it, and it was a hit on Stars called Spartacus, and he ended up getting diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma, and they thought that he was going to recover, so they gave him a little space. So they did a prequel to the actual TV show called Gods Among Us or something like that. Fungus Among Us.
Yeah, wait, Spartacus Gods Among Us.
Wait. Was that on Amazon?
That's on Amazon. That's before Amazon. That's Stars.
Was it Gods Among Us or Blood and Sand?
No, Gods Among Us. And then he ended up dying. So that's when they did Blood and Sand. And he created a whole new thing, and it's fucked up because the first 2 seasons were phenomenal. It was a great fucking show.
Yeah.
And then he ended up dying because of so I'm curious.
I thought it was not. He kind of looks like Sam Worthington, but he also kind of looks like
Conor McGregor.
The guy a little bit, yeah. But he kind of looks like the guy that played King Henry in The Tudors.
King Henry and the Tudors. That's Ultra Megan. She loves that shit.
Tudors?
Yeah, Melissa.
About King Henry.
Can I have a quick rebuttal real quick?
No, I don't want to hear your shit.
Spit in my mouth, lick in my eyes, pussy is wet, come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised, that's role play.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Of course you've heard that song.
Yeah.
You're such a piece of shit.
Because you're on TikTok a lot, right?
I'm a piece of shit?
Yeah, you are a piece of shit.
I didn't make the song, Rob. Who's the true piece of shit?
Hey, but no, the rebuttal of that though is that there's truth to that because you got other musicians that I can see that. Yeah, the Tudors.
He does look like him. Jonathan Rhys Myers or whatever his name is.
Go on, Jacob.
But no, there's other musicians that talk in a very slanderous
way. A lot of rappers do that.
For sure. I mean, I wouldn't say rappers in general. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm saying musicians in general.
Yeah, it's mainly rappers though.
But now you're segregating.
Yeah.
And we don't go that way.
But if you want to go like really full on,
he didn't
a
say
lot of
just black rappers.
I said rappers.
I'm saying musicians in general because you hear it in rock music.
Fucking what's that Zeppelin song where that's not fucking that's yeah.
The song is called "Whole Lot of Love."
Whole lot of loving.
I'm very aware of that. It's just hilarious, like how she talks about parking a Big Mac truck in her garage.
Like a pearl necklace.
Okay, let me top.
Yeah,
it's called subtlety. Rock music does it with subtlety.
Yeah.
Pearl necklace, whole lot of love.
With
is that him like when they do the guitar slide? Is that him like coming?
Yeah, there you go. That's Cobra Kai.
Big 10-inch. You know what I mean?
Loving the elevator.
They don't make a fucking song. They don't make a song called. They don't make a song called "Come on Your Face" or some bullshit.
It's not as
Cardi B's like fuck it, like
in your face. I get you.
Cardi B's just
like fuck it.
That's because she's not smart enough to make it a double entendre.
There you go.
Look at Cardi B's life. You know, she used to be in
robbing people.
Yeah, robbing people. While
really?
Look at Good Charlotte. They used to fake rob people, and like they're fake.
They robbed when their beginnings, right?
Yeah,
I remember we had this conversation.
I don't even remember.
Okay, I didn't know she robbed people.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
she would invite people over
that's
to her hotel
room. That's cool.
To have sex.
Or she would drug guys
and whatever. But they would come up to the hotel room and there's a fucking gang of guys beating the shit out of this guy and robbing him.
Yeah,
and they bail.
Fuck,
that's
really?
But see, that goes to my original argument. Guys are stupid.
Female empowerment,
Jesus, guys are fucking horny and they don't care. And
I laughed at it the other day. I'm serious. I went for a run. I was laughing at it. It's like the girls respond.
Look at the ratio. How many strip clubs there are to how many girl strip clubs there are.
Yeah.
Look at the ratio. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you want to know why? You want to know why?
I'm curious.
You want to know why? Yeah. How hard is it for a girl to walk into a bar and take a guy home and get laid?
That's true.
It's not hard as fuck.
Well, see, no,
exactly.
I'm glad,
so why do they need to go to a strip club and see some guy waving dick at? They could walk into a bar and be like, "I could really use some guy waving their dick at me." 30 guys would just drop trowel right there and start throwing. Dick.
Hold on. I was gonna say, like, I'm glad you brought that up because, like, the comment, like, on, like, I was asking about somebody. earlier about like, okay, you said female empowerment. Could you please lecture me?
So far off of comic book movies.
But hold on. Wait, hold on. Because she was saying like, because like in the song they said like, there's some whores in this house. There's some it's like she was saying like, there's no such thing as whores or sluts, whatever. Like, and women can do whatever they want. Like, okay, that's cool, I get it. But that being said, okay, well, can men be whores? Like, well, I don't think so, because it's, Bill Burr says it best. Like, when you pick up women, it's a skill. And women, and men too like to do it, but mainly women, they like to use it. Like, if you don't get, they like to use it as an insult. Like, oh, bet you don't get laid and whatever. Like, oh, you don't fucking get laid. That's admitting right there that it's hard. It is hard for men to get laid. Women, like you said, Robert, they can easily get laid. Fucking guys are dogs. They'll do it.
They go to the argument like guys are always horny and they're fucking dogs.
Yeah.
Like if you look at if you put a
hold on. I will refute that by saying that most women are just as horny as men, but it's way easier for a woman. It's way easier for a woman to walk into a bar, pick a guy. I guarantee you, if you had a bar full of dudes and women at equal ratios. Most of the guys, if all the guys were trying to pick up women, most of the women would reject their advances.
I wonder how many male fucking email address Madison, whatever the fucking Ashley Madison has.
What is Ashley Madison?
Yeah,
fucking
where you have an affair.
Yeah,
like
I guarantee it's mostly guys.
Oh yeah, and it's bots, it's prostitutes too. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, it's like it doesn't. Guys are like, if women go out to pick up a guy and they're like, I just want to go get laid, all they have to do is pick a guy and flirt with them a little bit and they'll probably get laid.
Yeah.
A guy has to go out and go to a bar and be like, all right, I'm going to focus on
it's a mission.
These 5 women.
It's a mission.
Yeah. It's a skill, like Bill Burr says.
If I get rejected by this girl, I'm moving on to this girl. If I get
it's a fucking skill.
And then you could end up going home alone. There is no way that most women could go out if they got it into their head and said, all right, I'm going out tonight and I'm going to get laid. 90% they would get laid.
Oh yeah.
If a guy says I'm going out and I'm going to get laid tonight, 40% that they're going to get laid.
I'd knock it down to 10, man.
There's a reason why a guy created.
I tried doing that and it doesn't work as much.
There's a reason why a guy created a joke like I'll fuck anything with a pulse. There's a reason why a guy created that, because it's true.
There's a guy that created that.
Yeah,
the joke.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the joke, but
right. No. Okay, what?
Never mind.
No. I'm sorry. Like I didn't know like where you're going at with it. I'm sorry. I get it. No, like there's a reason why. Yeah. I understand that.
That's not how comedy works.
Yeah.
Just stop it.
What? He doesn't get it.
You don't.
Hey, man, not everybody gets it.
He doesn't get it. It's like in City Slickers when he's trying to explain to him how to record on the VCR. He doesn't get it. He's never gonna get it.
Some people don't know every fucking thing.
If I'm doing stand up and an audience guy's like, I get it. I get it now. Now you explain, like, nope, the joke is dead.
Nah.
Yeah, you killed it.
Yeah. I didn't. I was fucking in and out. My ADD was kicking in. What do you want from me? Leave me alone.
And on
this
that
wet ass pussy. I'm serious. Fucking. It's all about.
Okay. So what? Last.
I'm sorry.
Where's MCU going with this?
I don't know. This is a good point. I think that Black Widow is going to set up a lot of things. I'm hoping that it kind of sets up.
Black Widow. You said
a big. Where's your channel? I think that like moving forward, I think that Black Widow is. What are you looking
at?
Black
Widow, you say? I don't have a mic.
Oh, that mute button is fucking fantastic.
I think the Black Widow is going to set up the next. Obviously, it's going to set up the next phase of the Marvel movies, but I think that what we're going to get is a big plot twist in the movies and kind of unlock a lot of things with the Multiverse of Madness as it unlocks the possibility of the multiverses colliding with each other. So it's one of those things. It's one of those things like we'll kind of have to see where it goes. Right, you know what I mean? But I don't think that they would have just hit Endgame and knowing the momentum that they had thinking that it would just end. I think that they knew that like once Endgame hit, it would definitely take a dive as far as like theater attendance and things like that, and they'd have to build it back up into something else. But I think that like continuing on this, like shared universe is going to be really difficult. Sure. I mean, they did it 22 movies. I mean, that's impressive as fuck.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, that's kind of my take on it.
I do definitely agree, man. Black Widow is going to bring it all right.
Yeah.
You know what she's going to bring, right?
What's she going to bring?
Some wet ass pussy.
Yes! Okay. You knew it!
All right. See,
you read my mind.
You let him talk about this. This is what happens. You let him talk about it, and it ruined the show.
I improved the show.
No, hold on. It ended the episode. We completely lost our train of thought.
No. I like that. Compromise. I got it. I like that. I'll take that.
My thing is this. Is that it goes back to the beginning of this episode. Is that I think DC takes the fucking Cobra Kai approach. And let me explain here.
Yeah, please.
I think you see your opponent on one fucking leg, Daniel LaRusso, you fucking sweep the leg. I say since they're gimping on one leg right now because they're one shy of a fucking star. I hate to say it. That's morbid. I don't mean it that way, but you know what I mean. DC used to come in and swoop in for the kill. Let's fucking ace the Batman. Let's fucking ace the Snyder Cut. And let's take over and let's fucking be crowned as.
Well, that'd be great. They could do it. They could do a Flashpoint movie, and tie all this stuff together into one universe, and then they could do whatever the fuck they wanted. They could hit the reset button. That's the thing that DC has in their back pocket is Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Because with Flashpoint you can do whatever you want. But I think Marvel is going to try to build that card. With the Multiverse of Madness, they're basically going to be like, oh, we know that DC can do whatever they want to reset anything, and we have, Marvel's sitting over there like, we have all these great characters that we want to bring in now, all the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider, all these characters they want to bring in.
Out of those three, X-Men was the only successful one.
What do you mean? Well, as far as movies go?
Yeah.
Fantastic Four in the comics was way more successful.
No, I mean in the movies. That's what I mean.
Yeah. The movies sucked.
But all the movies sucked. They don't tie together very well.
They're just terrible.
And because Fox did a really bad job with that property. But if and that's another thing, like the New Mutants. Did you watch the New Mutants trailer?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, that looks fucking
really?
good.
When did that come out?
This week, I think.
It's very.
I didn't hear anything
It's got one of the
guys.
It's got the guy from Stranger Things in it.
Really? Finn Wolfhard, whatever his name is.
No. The boyfriend of his sister.
Yes.
Oh, the shirtless guy.
No, not that. Not the guy that was in Power Rangers. The other
nerd,
guy,
right?
The nerd guy.
The nerd
that's the main character now. That's with what's her name? Fucking 11 or what?
Yeah, Finn Wolfhard. Yeah.
No, Finn Wolfhard is the one that's with 11. You're the one that's with Finn Wolfhard's sister.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
The only other male in the only other older guy in the show. It's also got
he could have played a good fucking. What's his name? John Connor, I think.
Yeah, he could.
Oh, yeah. I would
it's also got. It's also got Arya Stark, whatever her Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones.
Maisie Millions.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks like it looks really dark, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And this is Marvel's first. Foray into. Please don't, Paul.
Okay.
It's like Marvel's first foray with the mutants. You know what I mean?
Got you.
So like the one girl that's in there with the blonde hair, if you watch the trailer, she plays Ilyana Rasputin, and her character in the comics is Magic, and she's Colossus's sister.
Oh,
so like that's a direct tie-in. You could direct tie that into the Deadpool universe with Colossus. So anyway,
are they tying in any Gambit in? On this?
I don't know, man. We'll have to see. It's all kind of up in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they haven't announced anything. So
interesting.
Yeah, but. The end of podcast, we're going to put a little Cardi B at the end.
No, we're not playing any Cardi B.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's going to happen. A little wet-ass pussy, man. Pack this little garage. Pack this back truck in this little garage.
And on that note.
Several notes.
I am Jake.
Cardi B.
And I'm Rob.
And like we're
Cancel
not,
it out, Paul.
like we're gonna go back. We're gonna segue. Like we're not just ladies and gentlemen. We have the host.
Fucking Luke, what are you doing? That's your fault.
I'm starting this over.
Jesus.
I'm sorry I improved the show.
Okay, is that what happened?
Yeah,
you look like Alanis Morissette in that one black and white video with your hair down, covering your nips.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the name of the video.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
All right. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Good night, guys.
Alrighty.